Everybody knows that song, and of course, everybody knows this face, Ted Danson.
Talk about fate. Talk about coincidence.
You have the same feeling?
No, I just wish you'd talk about fate or coincidence.
And what a run he's had. So how did he get here? Well, good old Ted grew up in Arizona, the son of an archaeologist. In high school, bit of a basketball star, but he got into drama. I don't mean in relationships, I mean like drama, class drama, at Stanford University. Eventually, my man moved to Los Angeles, and then in 1982, he got his big break.
Carl, get Diane over here. I'm gonna ask her to marry me, Buddy Norm.
And for 12 amazing years, he was Sam Mayday Malone, the skirt-chasing, not drinking bartender on Cheers.
I'm not listening.
Nominated for 9 Emmys, he won a couple, but when you play a role that long, it's kind of easy to get stuck in that role and typecast, except not Ted. Ted reinvented himself and played a New York doctor for another 6 seasons on Becker.
I give you these pills, pain goes away. You ask me one more time if I know what you're saying, I'll let your head explode.
He's also done feature films, 3 Men and a Baby. He played a soldier in Saving Private Ryan. He was awesome in that. These days, Ted is a regular on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he's playing himself. He also stars in the legal drama Damages, playing a former CEO on trial for a stock scandal. Ted is also very political. He's a big-time environmentalist, but he's no Johnny-come-lately. He didn't just show up on the environmental tip. He's actually been working to protect the world's oceans for more than 20 years. He's a founding board member of a group called Oceana. It's trying to protect fish stocks. It also raises awareness about the dangers of oil spills, offshore development, toxic waste, and sewage pollution. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Aquaman, Ted Danson.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, good. So, there's this fish thing. This is, I mean, staggering statistics come out. This is not new for you, to pay attention to what's going on in the oceans. Do you remember your first moment where you thought, this is where I'm going to put my attention?
I kind of walked through life backwards, being surprised by what comes, my way. Mm-hmm. So this was, I can't say that 20 years ago I went, this is what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to talk about fish and oceans and trying to preserve them. But I knew this guy who was an environmental lawyer. We did some work together. We liked each other. My kids were on a beach and couldn't go swimming because the water was polluted, and Cheers was paying too much money for me, so I felt guilty. What do I do to be responsible? All of these things kind of came together. I think the smart thing I did for myself was co-create an organization around me so that if I started to get lazy or self-indulgent, there were people going, come back.
You have to do this. I always thought it's one of the great moves somebody who's famous can do is to get involved in other things so they can deflect the attention away from themselves.
That is so smart. That is so smart, because it's like being a celebrity is like having a room full of adults focus on a 5-year-old kid. You know how fast you can spin him out with all that energy? If you just absorb it, you go nutty. And if you think it's about you, you also are really mistaken. Mm-hmm. It's more about them than it is about you. So if you reflect all that energy, because it is energy, and go, thank you, but look at this. Mm-hmm. Thank you, can we talk about oceans? You kind of save your own sanity.
Do you feel the pressure then to really know what you're talking about?
Yeah, you know what? Yes, a little bit, especially when my scientist friends are in the room. Then I'm like, oh, hell, here we go. I know I'm going to get this wrong. But otherwise, no, I am an actor, and I'm the guy who played Sam Malone, so how smart can I really be? But at the same time, I have been exposed through their generosity to a lot of information. So what little I have retained, I pass on. I am a spokesperson, not an expert by any means.
When a lot of musicians at the top of their game, or at least when they're in everybody's face, they have a certain swagger about themselves. And I often wondered if, with an actor, I've seen it to be the opposite. When you were getting and when Cheers went to syndication, even when you went to Becker, another show that was very successful, at the top of your game, when all that energy was around you, did you have the confidence that you needed to be able to get through your days before you had all this other stuff to pay attention to, the outside world, the ocean and all that? Like, were you good with your reality?
Was I confident about?
Which is all of it. Like, when you looked at, Oceana, you looked at this as an opportunity, you looked at your own success, you saw the money coming in. Were you good with all that?
Yeah, hard cut. I also got kids. I'm married now, and between us we have 4 kids. So there are all of these grounding, if this is what you're asking, there are all of these grounding things that was like, you know, get over yourself quickly. You know, there are more important things around, like your children and what's going on, or your marriage or whatever. So I always have been very lucky to have very grounding people around me.
What kind of conversations do you have with the kids about Oceania?
Fish. We just talk fish. Fish, fish, fish. They, you know, not as much as you'd think, you know, but unless you're working with Johnny Depp or something like that, they're really not that totally tuned into what you're doing, you know. Have a good day at work, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
what is it you do again?
Yeah.
The numbers came out saying that if fishing continues the way it is by 2050, no fish.
By the way, I've never worked with Johnny Depp.
No.
I would love to. That was a little bit of a plug.
Right, you're going for it. I would, that wasn't necessarily a plug, but a plea, Ted.
Plea.
It was a plea.
Please, Johnny.
Hell, you're with Glenn Close. What's it like acting with that
Through
energy?
the roof. Through the roof. She's so good. I mean, as soon as everyone heard she'd signed on to this project, whew, you got great directors, great actors. Everybody wanted to play with her. She's great.
What's going to happen with the next season? We can't ruin it.
I can't tell you.
Do you know?
I don't know. There was an actors' strike right after they got picked up. So, you know, everything was shut down. No one could talk to anybody. So I still don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you lying to me? Is that the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the truth. That I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
2050, no fish, if the fishing stays the same.
Conceivably, yeah. If the trends, the destructive fishing, the overfishing keep going, scientists say that yes, we could fish out our oceans in our lifetime, commercially.
So then, from Oceania's perspective, what is the thing to focus on?
Right now, what we're talking mostly is about overfishing. We have 2.5 times the amount of boats worldwide going out on the water, coming back with fewer and fewer fish. Technology up the wazoo, and you can find that fish right over there, and still the fish stocks are going down, 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 down. So we have an opportunity right now in this moment of time with the World Trade Organization. They're willing to talk about reducing, getting rid of subsidies that, you know, pay for your fuel cost, pay for your bigger boat, your bigger engines, so that fleets in Spain can come over to your waters over here or near them and fish. If you were playing on an even playing field, no one could possibly afford to do all the bad stuff unless you subsidize them. So our tax dollars are going to do the wrong stuff, which literally could lead to wiping out our oceans.
So it's lobbying against subsidies for these fisheries.
Yes, or supporting you know, telling your government, please, Canada, step up and say, because I think there's a worry that the subsidies that go to the smaller communities, the fishing villages that are struggling, that those will be taken away. They aren't. They're not being targeted. What we're targeting is increased capacity to take more fish from an ocean that's already stressed beyond belief. So you need to have your leaders, all of us do, all of our leaders, to stand up and go, now's the time to, this would be the biggest thing we could do for oceans.
What's your comfort level with that? I know that once you know you put yourself out there to talk about this thing, are you comfortable being that guy?
I am, and if you sat me down next to a family of fishermen that were suffering, and I would probably start to sweat a lot and feel bad. But at the same time, this is not my point of view. This is science. Canadian, by the way, science. You have the best, you know, scientists when it comes to marine issues, and you also revere them as a country. So this is science. This is, if these trends keep going, this is what most likely will happen.
All right, stick around. We're going to come back and have more of our conversation with Aquaman Ted Danson. All right, we're back here. It's with Ted Danson. You want to talk TV for a sec?
I do.
All right.
Fish. I'm
You're sick of fish.
talking fish all day.
Do you eat fish?
Yeah, I do. Love fish.
Absolutely.
I once got in a lot of trouble with some really renowned scientists who, I came up with this new slogan as a joke: why save them if you can't eat them? And it was like, so.
But fish is supposed to be the only meat that's that good for you, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? That's the whole purpose. Make sure that our kids' kids can be fishermen as well.
Nice. Do you like doing dramas now? Let's just switch to
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I do. I do. Being funny is hard. Being funny is hard. This is funny. Everything else around it sucks.
Yeah.
that's funny. And so that's a pressure. Whereas when you're doing drama, you can show up drunk, divorced, and in a really bad mood, and it's like, whoa! You know, look at that.
Are you speaking from experience? Is that?
No.
The Cheers was an unparalleled success.
I've never done it drunk. Go on.
You never done it right now? Cheers was a big success.
Yeah.
And you know, people when you did Becker didn't think that would work, and that lasted for many, many years. And then when you started to do shows that started to get canceled early in their run, how did that make you feel?
Scared. I've stayed at the party too long. Uh-oh. I don't find myself funny either. Ooh, I'm in trouble. Is the party over? That's how it made me feel. And then on the surface, you know. But yeah, it's scary. It's scary.
You have those conversations with the people in your life going, do I still have it? Did the audience, do you almost feel like the audience didn't, did you think the audience didn't want you anymore in that context?
I also thought that we had stuff to do. We're talking about a show called Help Me Help You.
Yeah.
You and I were just saying a minute ago, we were both in a press line.
Together. And we were both canceled within like, not that long after that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you got more episodes than I got, but whatever, you're Sam Malone, fine.
Irregardless, you could kind of hear, dead show walking. What? Who said that? You know, and so when drama came along, when Damages came along with this thing with Glenn Close, it was this, for me, like this breath of fresh air. It was like, oh, good. I can get excited about acting again. And, you know, I think I had just done it too long. Not that I won't go try to be funny again, but I really got excited about doing well-written dramas.
And you know, television has changed so much. I mean, half the people see your TV show on DVD.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same kind of tuning as it used to be. How has that changed the reality for an actor?
Cable shows are starting to be kind of the shows that they used to make, the films, independent films they used to make, but now can't afford to, and it's all big production, you know, digital stuff, or just a few other films that make it through. So cable has taken up the slack. So you get really great directors and writers who like the freedom of telling a good story and having leeway.
Well, you and your wife like to make shows. Have you got another show you want to make?
No. I love reading scripts and go, wow, that excites me.
Especially from Johnny Depp?
Producing is tough. I mean, you're a producer, but you start out, you know, guaranteed, we'll give you this. And as the day progresses, you're down to about 1/10 of this. And every day is that kind of attrition. So I'm used to being the kind of the bridegroom who shows up going, oh, how nice, look at this. Everybody put this together for me. It's hard to produce.
Good to see you.
You too.
Ted Danson, everybody. All right, the organization is called Oceania. You can also see Ted and Damages Mondays at 10 on Showcase. Tomorrow, Ivan Reitman is going to be on the program, and a great musician. You like he's great, eh? And also the wonderful musician Sam Roberts. Thanks for watching tonight. Best time.